Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. This time I'm back with more action figures from Storm Collectibles. This time we have Wolf Hawkfield from Virtua. I got mine for $99 US, so $100 here from Big Bad Toy Store. I believe he's still widely available, so you can go ahead and get him there if you want to. Here we got the packaging, Wolf Hawkfield from Virtua. There he is. On the side, same thing here, just a different pose. This is, I think, actually the in-game model. And here we go. On the back, we've got the actual figure. We've got the different poses, the different heads with the different face expressions. So looking really cool. Definitely a huge Virtua fan, so I just had to get this one and also share it with you guys. All right, guys, so here we go with Wolf out of the box. As is the case with all other Storm Collectible figures, you also do get a background based on the game that character is from. In this case, Virtua 5, I think specifically in this case, Ultimate Showdown. So again, really cool for photography, or if you're displaying it on your shelf, you do have the option of using the background there. Of course, you get your awesome looking wolf figure, which we'll get to in a second. You do get a couple of accessories with this guy, not many. The first of these are a lot of hands. So you get 5 pairs in total. So that's 4 that you get in the box, and then the 5th set that comes with in the figure. So you do get your standard fists, and these are the ones that actually come in the box attached to the character at first. So you get those. You get a couple of pointing finger hands there, a couple of stretched out, reaching out hands. And then, you know, you got these style hands. So you do get at least 5 different options that you can go with this guy. And these are just essentially pull them off and you put the new ones back on. In the box, you also get ponytails. So very similarly to the Terry Bogard Storm Collectible figures that came with hair, this guy does as well. He actually comes with 2 different styles of ponytails here. So you get one that's just straight up, I guess, kind of just resting, relaxed, and then you get one that's more of a, I guess, flow motion type deal here, right? This is probably what you would use if you're going to post this guy doing moves. This right here has a slot, a little hole here that can go pinned in the back of the head. So you just pull this out and you'll see the head has a little red section there that you kind of just pull this in. And once you do that, it's kind of in there, it's nice and secure, it doesn't fall over, and you can again have some articulation there with the hair, so to give him some motion there. So again, pretty cool. And then of course, this being Storm Collectibles, we get additional heads. The first one being here is this one, which is the one I'll probably end up using. This is more of a screaming head, and the details on it are done really nice. Again, you got the nice face paint here, but underneath the eyes and on the eyes themselves, on the forehead and the center of the nose in red. And of course, this is the screaming one, so I think this will probably be more fitting for Wolf when he does his moves and everything. You've got the red hair here with some nice sculpting and some nice accents, and of course every head has this red piece here, so you can attach the different hair pieces to it. So overall, no complaint with this head. Again, as I said, this is the one I'll probably go with, but if you wanted to, there are more options here. There's this one, and this is the one that he came in the box with. So this one is a more, I guess, relaxed face. Of course, he's not screaming. He still looks angry, which again fits the character. But again, similar details. You still got the red, you know, the lips I think are done really well. You still got some details there on the cheeks, and it's not plain by any means. You got some nice different shadings in there done on the cheek. The ears are done really well, just like the other heads. And again, you got the same deal here with the red head, with the detailing and the paint, and you've got the red part here, so you can attach your ponytail to it if you want. And then the third head is the one that he has on, which I'll cover in a second. But then the last of the accessories here is this nice little piece. So this is an effect that goes that fits into his foot. I didn't know exactly what it was. I had to look at it a little closer in the box, but you could see the footprint there, so that kind of guides you as to which way it fits in. And essentially you can fit this, I think, to any foot, left or right. and he can sort of give it a bit of an effect, like when he stomps, you know, you see the fire effect or whatever have you, or the motion there. So there you go, you can fit it in there as well too. And you know, in the back of the box they show this guy sort of doing a move where he's kicking a guy, so you can use it for that, or you can use it for like your standard like wrestling stomp. So I know Virtua Fighter is not really known for, you know, the high fire effects or anything like this, so this is kind of appropriate. And again, it's done in this nice clear red plastic here with the orange and red accents there. So again, pretty cool. So that is it for the accessories. We're going to put that aside, and we'll get back here and concentrate on Wolf himself. All right guys, so here we go with Wolf. Right out of the box, impressions are pretty positive. I think he looks great. He's got a certainly nice presence because he's so big. The size, it's a nice, huge, big wrestler, of course, from Virtua Fighter. Very comparable, I would say, to King from Tekken 7, at least to the Storm Collectibles figure. So you could see it there. Starting off at the top, I showed you the other heads. This one's very similar in detail. Again, it's done really well. You still got the red accents. You got the red hair sculpted there. And this expression is, I guess, a bit not as neutral as the other one, or as resting. You know, it looks like he's about to get really angry at you, but it looks really, really nice. Of course, you got the ponytail attached to it that you saw me put on earlier, and again, this has some articulation on it. You can spin it all the way around to sort of denote the motion when he's doing his moves. The head itself, you can turn it fully around. You can look down probably about that much. My joints are a little stiff on this figure, and he can look slightly up. Okay, so moving on down here to the body, like all Storm Collectible figures, this top portion here is all done in this softer rubber. And again, here in the front and also going all the way to the back, that's done for articulation purposes. And I think they've done a really nice job with the muscle definition and the different texture and colors that they've given to this piece. Again, I think it looks really nice. It has that nice heft and size that definitely fits Wolf here. The midsection here is all hard plastic, but you've got muscles on top of muscles, which again is very fitting for this character. You know, again, and the skin texture and color on both of these pieces are done really well. They match up really well, even though they're kind of different materials when you think about it. But again, same thing here on the back. And as far as articulation here, you can turn this fully all the way around if you wanted to. So again, no issues with the waist articulation. You just have to make sure that you watch the trunks here. The top of the trunks are soft rubber so that nothing gets caught, but it's nothing too crazy. The upper torso here, you can use that to make him look down, but then you can also then make use of the waist, probably about that much, to make him look down, and then to look up. You can do the same thing. You can move this slightly up. The only thing to keep in mind is as you pull this up, you're going to get a bit of a gap here between the shorts and the front of the muscle, the waist. So again, no big deal. You are going to be able to get this guy, at least from the midsection, into some really nice poses. Moving on here to the arms, again, this is your standard Storm Collectible like joints, right? I think they've used these for all their figures. You've got the extra soft rubber pieces here on the sides, which help to hide some of the joints when you're posing this guy. But the arms, again, you're going to get some good range out of them. You can turn them fully around. You've got bicep articulation here, so you can turn this not all the way around because the muscles kind of get in the way, but I think enough to give you a good range for postability. The sections here in the elbows, of course, he's got these awesome elbow pads done in this soft rubber with this blue color, the red and the stars as the accent. Looks really cool. The only bad thing about these, they are soft rubber, but they do kind of get in the way when you're trying to pose the elbows. So at this point, you're going to get less than 90 simply because of the elbow pads. They're in the way. And you can work to slide them down a bit if you want to get them like out of the way, but because the forearms are pretty big, that is going to kind of, again, get in the way from allowing you to move this elbow pad kind of all the way down. And at that point, you can get a little more, but as you could see, the elbow pad still gets in the way. It looks really nice. It definitely fits the character. This is what was in the game. So again, it looks really cool, but it does hamper some of the articulation around the elbows. Moving on down here to the wrists, again, very matching to the rest of the outfit here with the blue and the red. And you've got these little white accents again with the stars, which looks awesome. The hands, again, really well done. And as I showed you earlier, you get at least 4 other options in including these here. So you've got the fingerless gloves, and then the thumb here, which I think for this scale is really well done. The hands, you know, they're on a ball joint, so you can turn them fully around and you can move them in and out, etc. So again, this is a thing, you kind of just pull them out when you want to replace them, so no big issues there. And then moving on down here to the lower section, we're going to start off here with these awesome trunks. Again, they match really well to the elbow pads and the wrist pad and the wrist tape here and the gloves. Again, you got the red with some nice you know, sculpting and line work and different looks like lighter gray that they've added here to give more definition to the folds and everything. And you've got, of course, the red accent here. Going on to the side, this was a big thing for me. I'm glad they kind of did an awesome job here. You've got the wolf letters here on the left and the right. Again, done, and you know, with these what is it, like gray letters with the red accents and the black. It's all done really well. Coming onto the back here, you can see the shirts kind of follow the similar trend. You still got that sculpting and line work, etc. So it does end up looking really cool. As far as the the trunks here, as I mentioned earlier, this upper section here is all softer rubber. So that's, again, to help with the articulation. This guy won't be doing a full split, but that's probably as much as he can go, simply because the softer sections here do get a bit in the way. But I mean, I think that would be enough for a guy like this. As you can hear, the joints are pretty noisy on mine, but you can kick forward probably about that much before the trunks get in the way, and then back pretty well, I'd say. I think that's more than sufficient. So, and you can turn these joints up here. They're on a ball joint. A little stiff on mine and noisy, but again, for what they have here is pretty serviceable. There's also an additional joint here right below the shorts, essentially, the trunks, with the leg, where it meets with the leg, where you can turn these individually. So again, that's really cool for additional articulation that you have that. So, you know, so that's really cool. And then that kind of then leads on down to whatever skin texture you have here. Matches really well with the rest of the body. So again, no issues there. Knee pads look great. Again, same, no issues with matching the colors and to everything else. So his outfit coordinates really well. You've got the red and blue, and you've got, of course, these gray accents and line work and sculpting to give it sort of that used rough look. So again, pretty cool. The only bad thing is, similarly to the elbow pads, these knee pads are going to get in the way with the knee articulation. So if he didn't have his knee pads, he would probably have, like, I believe these are double jointed knees, but they get in the way, you know, so you're going to get 90 probably. But again, the knee pads just kind of get in the way of that joint there. Now you can slide them down a tad to try and get them out of the way, but again, because the legs are so thick down here, that, you know, you're still going to get some interference there. So again, just something to note. I don't think it makes the figure terrible or anything, but something to keep in mind there. And then moving on down, before we get to the boots, there is an additional joint here too. So where it meets the top of the boot with the rest of the leg, the lower leg, there is another joint here. Now, I can't turn mine fully all the way around, but again, there's articulation there on both sides. It's a little stiff, but again, you do get that to be able to play with. Moving on down to the wrestling boots. Again, dark gray, done really well. You've got the laces, the little bow at the very top. So again, done really well. Same thing, it's not plain by any means. You've got your little details, line work and sculpting to give it, again, that nice look. Moving on down to the feet, again, matching with the rest of the whole wrestling shoes outfit. Again, you still got the laces and everything. Articulation wise, These feet you can turn. I would just be really careful. Probably about that much is what I would be comfortable going with. And it appears they're in a ball joint, so it looks like you can move them slightly left and right. You can't move them in like up and down. You could see the ball joint there. But again, mine are a little stiff. I probably just need to play around with them a little more. The toe articulation is there as well, but again, it's pretty stiff, at least on mine. So yeah, you do get some articulation there, but again, I don't think it's too much. I think what's there is just okay. Same thing here, you could do that. And then moving on down, the boots. Again, you probably won't see these too much, but I'm glad they added soles and the detailing that goes along with that. So yeah, overall, some nice articulation. Some of the accessories like the knee pads and the elbow pads do get in the way of the articulation there in those sections, but I do think that, you know, what we do get with this figure articulation wise and looks wise, he definitely looks apart. He looks really cool. This is the Wolf Hawkfield that I remember from that Virtua Fighter 5 game, and it's nice to add more wrestlers. I have King, I have Zangief, so pretty cool to have these big Storm collectible figures being added to the collection there. Let's go ahead and get started with the comparison. Starting first with some Sega. So here he is next to Axel from Street of Rage 4. And one of his rivals from Virtua Fighter, I think in this case this is the Virtua Fighter 2 outfit. But Akira Yuki. So you guys can see there what these three look like together. Wolf is bigger than Akira here. So we'll go ahead and move these two guys out of the way and bring in some King of Fighters. So here he is next to Iori. This is the Orochi Iori. He is in a bit of a pose, so again. And then here is Terry Bogard from this. I think this is the King of Fighters 98 version, if I remember correctly. So there you go. Move Terry out. Go ahead and bring in Ryo Sakazaki, again from King of Fighters 98. So there you go. And move Iori out of here. And bring in Mr. Geese Howard. Geese is actually taller here than Wolf. So there you go. We'll move Ryo out and put in Kyo Kusanagi, again from 2002 Ultimate Match, King of Fighters. Pretty similar in size, I'd say, height-wise anyway. So we'll move him out. And let's bring in some Samurai Showdown. Haomaru. Again, Haomaru here is in a pretty action pose. So he's pretty spread apart, but Haomaru is smaller here than Wolf. And because we're featuring guys with swords, why not Mitsurugi here from Soul Calibur 6. Alrighty, so let's move Haomaru out. And Mitsurugi as well. Get him out of here. Bring in some Tekken. Things start to get a little interesting here. The Tekken characters are bigger or taller in this case. So they may be a bit out of scale here, I'm thinking. But that's that. And of course, you're going to have a wrestler like Wolf. You got to have King. I think this is where you kind of do notice the height difference. I would have at least preferred if they made Wolf, granted out on their heights, at least as tall as King here. I know they're whole different series and different characters, but size-wise, King is taller, if that's sort of what you're going after. Then we have Street Fighter So here he is next to Balrog or M. Bison. He is much bigger there. And then we'll move King out and bring in Zangief here. Again, these are both from Street Fighter 2, from the Street Fighter 2 collection there. So he is smaller again than these guys. I think Zangief should be way bigger, but I do think Wolf should be at least the same size here as Balrog. But again, different series, different games, so perhaps different sizes. But yeah, there you go. That's it for the comparisons. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Wolf here. Will you be getting one? Are you interested? Are you into Virtua Fighter at all, or Storm Collectibles? For me, it's a nice figure. I do think he's a tad undersized. He should be a bit bigger, but again, not enough for me to lose the enjoyment of this figure. Not a lot of accessories, but again, it's nice to add another wrestler from another video game franchise into this whole Storm Collectibles figures here that I'm slowly growing in size. But anyway, thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, thank you so much for your very valuable time, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.